Well, good morning, Delaware. We are so happy to be here with you on this gray Friday morning. Have we
gray.
seen the sun in like 5 months?
You know what, though? Yesterday was warm. I think I actually took my jacket off.
Oh, okay.
My fingerless gloves stayed on, but I took my jacket off yesterday.
Did Mom approve?
No, she doesn't know about that.
Ask your mother.
No, I did not tell her. She would have been like, Molly, stop.
Well, that is my co-host, Molly Meyers Labadie, the Deputy Director of the Delaware County District Library. Thank you for being with us, as always.
Always love it,
Yes.
even on gray days.
Right. On the board, we have Gage. Thank you so much, Mr. Tellez.
Good morning. You know, I don't mind these gray days sometimes.
Really?
I don't mind them. The only problem is my solar panels don't charge, and then half my bird cams go offline. So.
Right, exactly. In studio with us today, we have Miss Sarah Robertson. She is the Assistant Branch Manager of the Liberty Branch Library and the Supervisor of Adult Services.
Yay!
Hi.
Happy to be here.
We, if you haven't noticed, are doing like a whole tour de Liberty Library this month.
I'm loving this.
We had Luke on 2 weeks ago, Kadra on last week. This week we have Sarah, and then next week to round out May and to round out our tour de Liberty, we will have our Liberty Branch manager, Sherry Bowers, on with us. So
It's just fun.
It is fun.
It's a fun crew. I love being over there right now.
Yeah. So Sarah, we will talk in the second half of the show about all the fun things that you have planned for the grand opening and for just the library as a whole. But
Wait, we're opening a library?
No, it's not happening.
No.
We decided we would delay it another.
Before anybody panics, it's actually happening. It's happening.
It is happening. Funny jokes that aren't funny.
Don't make me cry.
But as we always begin the show, we will talk a little bit about some things that we're reading. So, Molly, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I brought out an oldie but goodie. So we are opening a library. So I was like, what's my favorite book about libraries? We have a cool display our team put together in the front. You'll hopefully see it when we get ourselves open. But I am talking about a book called Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. So this is what I want you to know about this book. Alcatraz, he has a talent.
Oh, not the place. This is a person.
This is a person. Alcatraz Smedry is his name.
Okay.
And Alcatraz has a talent. Alcatraz breaks things. His grandfather also has a very important talent. His grandfather is always late. These talents...
I like this.
Oh, I love this.
I like this.
These talents make them pretty much superheroes. Everybody in their family has a talent like this, and it takes a while to figure out what it does. But when Alcatraz breaks things, it tends to keep him safe. It seems like a pain, but later it pays off.
Okay.
When they're late, they just miss things. They end up being in the right place at the right time by being late to whatever they're doing.
Can I use this for the rest of my life?
Oh my gosh, it is. I absolutely fell in love.
Punctuality does not work
As
well for
someone
me.
who is always breaking things late, like Lloyd literally moves his things far, far from me. He has a spill zone because I'm so good at spilling coffee and things like that. Like he's got space for me. And I like to think that these are my talents and they're actually protecting me in the world. Think about it. If you are always a little late, what if you're always missing that car accident?
Yeah.
What if you're always missing
true.
that, disastrous thing? So Alcatraz, he happens to break something one day, and his grandfather runs in and he's like, "Kid, we got to go. Wait, we're going to have to go." And then they finally disappear. Well, it seems that this world, and when I'm giving this as a book talk to kids, I, at this point, will go, "Wait, do you see any of the other librarians around?" Okay, kids, listen to me. Librarians are actually evil. And they're trying to dominate and take over the world.
Obviously.
They want to control all the knowledge. They don't want to share it. It's all theirs. But I'm rebelling. So you've got to know this because I need you to read this book and then go save the world with whatever your talent is. And it is the best book talks I have ever given. And of course, their parents are standing right behind them cracking up.
Yeah.
And the kids are getting really serious. And this is not a short book.
And then they go home and talk all about the evil librarians.
The evil librarians. But I am an example of a good one who helped
You're rebelling.
prevent the evil librarians from taking over. So Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians by Brandon Sanderson. There's a whole series of these. You start them and you cannot stop them. Now, I know there's some librarians, we did used to maybe have a bad rep as librarians. We used to be the shushers. And, I remember a librarian making me cry because I asked for 4 magazines about Star Trek and I could only have 3 at once.
No.
I had to turn one back.
How rude.
I was awful of me. But we're not like that anymore. And most people, that's the fun of this, is that when you're getting a book talk from a librarian who's gone over and above to you several times, it's hilarious that we're evil and keeping the secret.
Right.
Alcatraz is just a fun series. It makes you feel good about all those things you're not great at. Why don't we celebrate the fact I'm not good at things?
What age range do you recommend this for?
I would say this is about 2nd through 6th grade.
Okay.
Maybe 3rd through 6th grade. 2nd might lose a little interest.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. It's really exciting, really carries the story through. I absolutely love this middle grade read. Favorite book talk of all time. And if we were going to talk librarians, today is Library Day in my head.
Yeah.
So we're going for it.
Okay, so say the title one more time.
Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. It is book 1 in the series by Brandon Sanderson.
Cool. Well, that is a fun title. I am marking it down myself.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm an adult and I want to read that.
It's fantastic. Adults, don't you dare think you can't read children's books.
No,
They
yeah.
are written to be fun. Just let go. Read a children's book. You won't regret it.
I never do. All right. Well, Sarah, we gave you your homework. We said we talk about books in the first half of the show. So what did you pull up?
Well, I pulled up a romance. I do a lot of mystery and thriller reading, but after
I
the
love a
pandemic,
good romance.
we kind of want to escape a little bit. A good romance, just something swoon-worthy.
I believe we've bonded over this before.
We have, yes. So I really love the author from Cincinnati, or she lives in Cincinnati. She's done a lot of good ones. Her most recent one was Book Lovers.
Oh, right. I know
about
that
2
title.
book editors.
Yeah.
And meeting in a
Look,
small
more
town.
book talk about books
Books
today.
And she has one coming out called Happy Place. It actually comes out in April.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then her one that I loved the most was one of her second big one. It was called The People We Meet on Vacation.
Okay.
I know it was a big bestseller. It's actually going to be made into a movie now. So I'm
All the
super
good ones
excited.
are.
No, so I'm super excited to see that play out. But it's about 2 characters, Poppy and Alex, and they become best friends in college. And it's told through, you have flashbacks and you have present day, and you're trying to figure out what's going on with their relationship. And it's really funny and really swoon-worthy, and you kind of are figuring out what's going on and why they have a issue in their relationship. So it goes back and forth from the past to the present, and it's just really interesting to see how their relationship forms and what's going on and everything. So it's really fun.
Nice. Yes. The book Lovers I have seen on all of the lists.
All of the
lately.
lists.
Yes, it's also really good. It also has a lot of stuff about sisters in there, so she's kind of branches out from just the romance. And talks
I
about the
love
familiar
sister
stuff.
stories.
Me too.
Are her stories generally standalone, or does she incorporate characters from the same world?
It's typically standalone, so I haven't read any that you have to
Okay.
read as a series, which I personally, I like series,
Yeah.
but I really like sometimes just to read a book and have that story wrapped up. And, romance, of course, you really
Yes.
want that.
Yeah, you need closure at the end of a romance novel. You don't sometimes. And some of the romances that I've read, like I did book 1 in the Neon God series, and that is the story of Hades and Persephone. But then their story kind of wraps, and so then the second book doesn't follow them anymore. You meet just another couple in that world, and then you just keep getting introduced to different couples in that world. And I'm like, okay, I can live with that.
I like it when the characters then pop back in and you're like, oh, yeah. And you have that like warm feeling when they show back up.
Right.
like
That's
that
the best.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I know. It's like weird. You're like, I know them.
I do know them.
I do.
They're my friends.
I know him. Last week I talked about a book, and I was about 45 minutes away from the end of the book, and I gave it a wonderful review, and I was like, yeah, and I'm so close to being done with it. And in those last 45 minutes, there was a twist.
No.
There was a twist. It was massive. It didn't completely change my opinion of the book, but I was kind of like, ugh.
I like that
I
you're
hate when
coming
they do
back
that.
and warning people. I think that's really nice of you, Nicole.
Yeah. it's like, so like you got to beware the twists. And it's also a lesson to myself that I got to beware my book talks.
Yeah.
Because I have another book that I'm halfway through right now. And I was asking my team, like, should I talk about it tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, but I haven't finished it yet. Things could
I've been
change.
reading the same one. The reason you guys are getting my old ones, I've been reading the same one for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
I get it the drive to and from work, and that's about it right now.
Right, and sometimes you really have to get to the end. You really have to finish it. So this morning I looked up a Goodreads list, which is popular twist ending books.
Sweet.
So these are some titles that have a twist ending, and I'm warning you now so that when you read them, you can be ready for it.
Is Gone Girl on that list?
Oh, of course. I mean,
I love Gone Girl.
I didn't know anything about it, like at all,
Right.
other than, people are checking it out. And it was the first book I ever read on an e-reader. And I remember being like, wait, what in the world what did I get? Why did nobody tell me?
Have you read her other books?
Yes.
No,
They're
because I'm
all
still trying to
twisty and
correct
crazy.
myself from her first.
So actually, at the top of this list, within the first 6, is not Gone Girl, but is Dark Places
Yeah.
by Gillian Flynn, or Gillian Flynn, but I think I've heard it pronounced Gillian Flynn. Dark Places, that's a really good story. I have read that one. She uses a really interesting way to reveal the details of the mystery. She alternates chapters between kind of the present sleuthing and the past actual events. So if you're okay with non-linear timelines and like figuring out the story along with the characters, that's a really good one. But she does really good with, like, psychotic women. She just
I
does,
love
She
that.
really does.
she just does a great job with
Me
that.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You do great with psychotic women. So that's Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart is another one that I've read.
Oh, yeah.
My review of this one was a 1-star review. I rarely give
I
1-star reviews.
can't do it. My reviews are all like 5 stars. Like every
know,
book I
I
read, I'm
rarely
like,
go under 3.
somebody else is going to love this. Or what if the author sees it?
Yeah. Well, this one was like I should have known better because it actually is written for like young adults. This is a young adult. We Were Liars. It's part of a series. E. Lockhart. This is number 1. It's rich kid privilege.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of angst, and it's just like drama. And I just was like, no, not here for it. But that one has a twist ending too. An author that I've fallen in love with, I have read, I think, at least 3 of his books now, is Alex Michaelides.
Oh, I don't know Alex.
He writes The
Like
Silent
friends.
Patient.
I do know Alex. Yeah.
So he's done The Silent Patient. He did a bunch of other ones that I have enjoyed as well. This one, on the other hand, got a 4-star review from me. I did see the twist coming, though. This one, like,
Did you?
You kind of knew it was. You kind of knew it was along the way. This one, The Silent Patient. It's about there is a woman who either was part of a very grisly murder or was a lone bystander of a grisly murder, and she basically gets out of going to jail and instead is serving time in a psychosis unit, and she is not speaking, and she has a therapist, and he is trying to get her to speak, trying to figure out what happened and everything like that, and she's just not talking, and you realize that it's not a shock thing, it's a choice that she's been making, and so you're wondering, why is she silent? And so then there's another person who the thing that does somewhat annoy me about Michaelides' writing is that he always has a therapist who just tries to be a detective and kind of steps outside their lane just a little too much. I'm like, the police would not allow this. This is unrealistic.
Those are my favorite books, The Librarians Who Solve Crime.
Right, yeah.
If Angela Lansbury is not in this book, I am disappointed.
Right. And then, of course, there are classics on the list. My first Agatha Christie that I ever read was And Then There Were None.
Oh, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
It's a really, really wonderful one. Here's a little hint. If you go to the Liberty Branch Library grand opening on Sunday, see where you can find Agatha Christie. She's hidden somewhere in the
that was
branch.
good. That was really good.
All right. Well, that'll be it for our twist endings. We will take a break, and on the other half, we will come back with Sarah Robertson, our Assistant Branch Manager of the Liberty Branch Library. Well, thank you, Gage. And thank you to our sponsors, Beanbag Books and Helpline. We love our sponsors.
Love
We're
them.
so happy that we can continue the show thanks to their support. go and check out all of their services. Helpline services are amazing.
They just serve this community, both of them, in so many different ways.
Yeah,
I love it. We're lucky.
Beanbag has like fun themed story times in the
Yes.
store. Good for Easter basket shopping.
And another place to get great book talks. So, if we haven't talked to what you're looking for on the radio lately, get over to Beanbag or the library, of course.
And don't take our word for it. I mean, I just slammed We Were Liars. Maybe somebody over there liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you and I should find books that we disagree on, and we should just spend an entire show going back and forth on why I'm right and you're wrong, and you're right and I'm wrong.
There we go.
Yeah. It's going to have that whole thing.
Well, welcome back. We have in the studio with us today Sarah Robertson. She is the Assistant Branch Manager and the Supervisor of Adult Services at the Labadie Branch Library. Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you here. Start off by telling us just like a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I just actually started with the Delaware Library System about 6 months ago. I was in Illinois for 12 years as an adult services manager there. So I am back now in Ohio because I'm originally from here.
Okay.
Went to Otterbein College.
Okay.
So I'm back with my family.
We're so
here.
glad you're back.
I'm so happy to be back here. It really feels like home. I really missed Ohio and just everyone around here. So
yeah, well, we're glad to have you here and we're glad that things are getting moving. It's really feeling like a branch. You manage a team, and they have some really creative ideas. What sorts of things?
They're great.
Yeah, what sorts of things
so
are your team planning for the Labadie Branch Library?
Yes, I have a wonderful team. I love working with them. We have some fun things coming out here soon. We're going to have some book clubs, both virtual and in person. We have we have crafts coming up, and then we have a trivia coming up in the summer.
I love trivia.
Yes, I love to do trivia, and it's really we have a really great community room there, so it's going to be really fun to do that there.
Oh my gosh, exciting. I'm picturing this now in the community room.
It's going to be amazing. We're really looking forward to it, so we're just formulating some plans for that. And
what, is it? Okay, see, I love trivia too, so now I feel like I want to get into the nitty gritty. But I also know that you're just at the birthing idea stage. But is it general trivia?
It's going to be general, but there'll be, I already talked about romance. We're going to have some romance in there. Is it all Bridgerton?
Oh, I'm going to be there for that. Actually, I'm bringing my ringer, my sister, who knows everything about Bridgerton. I'm bringing her. She's on my team.
That's going to be fun.
If there aren't even teams,
I don't
there
know.
probably
She's
aren't
going to have
even
to compete
teams.
against me on that. So.
Oh, it's on. Julia Hinton, just know I'm calling you out. You're going to come and help me.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, so trivia, book clubs. I was walking around the second story. If you have not driven by the Labadie Branch Library, it is located at 7468 Stites Road. That is just north of, on the north end of Powell.
Super easy to find.
Really
Super
easy to find. We have 3 levels in this building, and so it's a massive building, 42,000 square feet. The second story, it's the only branch that we have that has multiple levels that are all publicly accessible. The second story is where you're going to find a lot of the adult collection. It's where you're going to find a lot of Sarah's team. I was walking around yesterday and I saw a tree.
Yes, that is our poet tree.
Yes.
So people can come in. We're going to have that up through at the opening, and then we're going to have it up through the month of April because that's Poetry Month. So people can write down a poem and then add a leaf to the tree for their poem. So anybody walking by can just look at everybody's creations.
I'm just going to spend the whole month reading those, aren't I?
It's so
That's
amazing.
all I'm going to do.
The poet tree.
Brian, if you're listening, that's my job description, I'm pretty sure, is just read what's on the poetry out loud to anybody I can find.
Yeah, I think that works out well.
And if you're at the opening, we have some staff poetry on there already. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, because you've got to pre-populate the tree a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of the opening, the Labadie Branch Library is planning its grand opening to the public this Sunday, 1 to 4 p.m. Drop in anytime. If you happen to come to the lot and it looks full, or you just don't want to deal with the parking there,
That's me.
We do have a shuttle that is running thanks to our friends at the Olentangy Liberty High School. So park at the rear lot of Olentangy Liberty High School. You can access it from Home Road. Just park your car there. We have a bus, and the bus is going to be making loops the whole afternoon.
And please don't park on Home and Stites roads. It's not safe.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
We really want to keep you and your vehicles safe.
Yeah, you want to keep your car.
Yes, yes. And I'm not going to promise you will if you park there.
So take it over anytime between 1 and 4. And then your team has, have I heard, a scavenger hunt?
We do, yeah. So the scavenger hunt is going to kind of have people exploring the library and seeing where they can find different places in the library.
So cool. There's so many little nooks and crannies.
There are. So we hope that you guys can find everything
Yes.
and then write that down on the list and bring it to us. So, yeah.
Are there prizes involved, or is there just glory?
It's glory.
Glory. Okay,
Oh.
good.
I am going to be writing on my name tag, scavenger hunt winner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go.
My name tag's getting really big, by the way, because I just add a new part to my title every week.
Right. Yeah, and I was telling a little clue that I gave you from the first half of the show, that you can find Agatha Christie somewhere on that second floor too. See if you can see what other people, authors, books you can find. There are some hidden secrets in the branch, and when you're walking around, talk to the library staff because we know a lot of those secrets.
Yes, a lot of those secrets. I've spent a lot of time with those secrets.
Yeah, so don't ask. I mean, don't go too deep. We don't need to go there. But no. Yeah. Anything else, Sarah, that you feel like the world needs to know before they come and see the branch and meet you and your team?
Well, we have some staff picks too. So
Yes.
if you come upstairs, we have a lot of great books that we've read that we really recommend.
I have to do family holdback on those because I've already seen several, and I'm like, that one.
Yeah.
I want them all.
Oh, you know what? I got comments about, because we don't do it necessarily at all of our branches, but your staff have put together adult book bundles.
Yes.
We have that a lot in the children's section where you can just be like, oh, my kid's interested in dinosaurs. Let me grab this bundle of dinosaur books, and it'll have 12 of them that you can check out all at once. But you have some adult book bundles.
We do. We have it both in the large print and the regular print. So you can pick up some mysteries. We have romance. We have some nonfiction titles too in there, so that you can just pick up a bunch of books that you like a certain genre, and then that's what you can take.
So
Or if you're picking up for a family member, that's
Exactly.
a great way of doing it. So they have a selection of things to find the right book for them.
So they're primarily genre based. Is that how you?
Yes,
put them
right
together?
now though we've been thinking of some other ideas
I
to
can't wait.
combine different genres and
Right.
everything. So we're gonna have some extra things there
You guys
too.
are so much fun. Well, Sarah, thank you for being our guest today.
Thank
you
you
did
for having
wonderfully.
me. I was happy to be here.
We are going to talk quickly about some things that we have coming up at the library this week. Of course, our story times are going to be kicking off at. Are we kicking them off at all of the branches? You're not the youth services supervisor,
I believe
so
we are.
We've got Powell, we've got Delaware, we've got Orange, we've got the Genealogical Society, we've got the
I'm
Ribbon Cutting Sunday.
Really excited about the Bookbusters. It is the book club for grades 2 through 4.
Yes.
And they're doing Over the Moon by Natalie Lloyd.
She's-
Get your kids in for this one. This one's fun. Don't miss it.
If you can read the book, if you can snag it and read it over the weekend and get there by Tuesday, it's a good
You can
time.
do it.
Yeah.
You got it.
You got it. If you have a reader, you know that they'll read it over the weekend
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. The Maker Studio continues with their classes. That's another fun thing. The day that the Liberty Branch Library opens, we will have the study rooms available for checkout or for reservation, and the Maker Studio will be open at the
Yes.
Liberty Branch Library.
Oh, it's so exciting.
It's got some hours that will change officially beginning on Monday, but their Wednesday class schedule is still the same.
Our friends and their donors have really done a great job on
Yes.
this. That's a shout out of thanks right now to all they've done to make that happen.
It looks nice.
Yeah, they do it. They do a really, really wonderful job. And if you want to get a head start on the middle school book club, that is coming up on Monday, April 3rd. So you have about a week and a weekend to get your books together for that. They always just kind of talk about some of their favorite reads at that.
Yes.
That one's at Delaware Main Library, 4 o'clock. So just come right after school to the Delaware Main Library with your teens, grades 5 through 8. And we're going to talk about our favorite just recent reads. We're just going to kick off the spring and say, like, what have you been reading? So that's an easy one. And you can probably cram about, 4 or 5 books in between now and 2 Mondays from now.
We totally do
Totally.
that.
All the-
Totally.
yeah,
we don't struggle ever at all.
Right? Like, I'm like, what list can I
know.
talk about
Which-
for my book review this
How
morning?
many years back do I need to go? Wait, that one's good.
All right. Well, we hope that we see you at the Liberty Branch Library this Sunday, March 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. If you can't make it or if you just don't want to be there with the crowds, we're open on Monday. So
We're open.
you can see Sarah anytime then after that. All right. Thanks for listening. And until next week, we will see you in the stacks.